Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk with you about these three orchids. We're going to highlight this orchid here all the way on the left, and as you can see none of them are blooming, so but they all have capsules on them. So I want to talk with you a little bit about these and what I did with these, and I want to really start and highlight this one all the way on the left. So two of these are Cattleya lueddemanniana. The one on the left is Cattleya lueddemanniana Propagator. So this is the plant that I was given an FCC on with a numerical award of 93 a few months ago. And I got this award, I shared it with you previously, and I wasn't aware fully of how important this award was and how significant this was, and it's sinking in over time now as I'm getting to do things with this orchid. So this is, I want to give you a little bit of history first of all on this, the award-winning Cattleya lueddemanniana. So this orchid right over here I purchased from Rafael Romera, who is the owner of Planteo la Orquídea. And this orchid he sold to me when it was a seedling in September of 2020, and right now it is April of 2024. So I bought it as a seedling. It was my first Cattleya lueddemanniana that I bought, and okay, I bought it. It wasn't flowering at the time because it was a seedling, and I brought it home, and it flowered for me once before I brought it into the show where it was awarded. The parents of this plant were lueddemanniana Haiti was the cultivar, was one parent, that was the seed parent, and the pollinia parent was Orchid Eros Picati. And so these things are, I'm not really sure where. I think Haiti, one of the parents, might have been wild collected, so that came from Venezuela. But I think it was grown in Brazil. I think that's the origin of one of the parents of this plant. The Orchid Eros Picati, as you might imagine from the name, was shown and awarded, and it got an 81 award from AOS, and that was grown by Ben Oliveros from Orchid Eros in Hawaii. And so that was grown by that plant, and it turns out that this plant was hybridized. It was made by Ben Oliveros, who is a very well recognized Cattleya breeder, and he's got a lot of Cattleya lueddemannianas in his collection. I contacted Rafael and Ben and told them about this, and they were surprised and happy for me. And it's kind of an interesting story. I asked Ben what to do with this orchid, and because what happened is right after it was awarded, first of all, I got offered a lot of money for this. So this is the most valuable orchid in my collection, which isn't saying a whole lot. So I was offered a lot of money for this, and I was shocked to be offered more than I paid for it, but it apparently, because this is the highest numerical awarded Cattleya lueddemanniana in AOS history. So this got a 93, and so this is, you know, I just am growing it outside here. Probably shouldn't say that, but this is my most valuable orchid in my collection. So anyway, I asked Ben what to do with it, and he suggested, well, first of all, I asked some other breeders what to do with it that were at the meeting where it was awarded, and they said self it. And so I actually selfed the plant, and that's what these two capsules on the plant right here and right here are. I then asked Ben what I should do with it, and he said I should cross this onto a plant, another awarded Cattleya lueddemanniana that's called crown fox Goliath. So anything that has crown fox, and that received in '92, so a little bit lower than this, but still it's still an FCC, and it's still a very high award. Anything with crown fox in it belongs to RF Orchids in Homestead, Florida. So I contacted RF Orchids, and I contacted Mike, and what he told me is that he sold the plant probably right after awarding to John Odom from Odom's Orchids. So then I contacted Rob, who I know at Odom's Orchids, and he said he didn't know whether he had it in his collection still. So it was a little bit of a dead end. I put a notice out to a few people and asked for crown fox Goliath, because again, the idea is to cross a couple of Cattleya lueddemannianas that are highly awarded, but aren't from the same exact background. So when you do a self of these plants, what happens and what you can get is some inbreeding, and you get inbreeding depression. So the plants might not be that nice from the self. I did it because one of the breeders told me to do that was at the meeting, but I don't think I should have done it. So I should have done it. I should have crossed it with crown fox Goliath. But the plant is not flowering right now, and that time has gone by. In the meantime, I did put a search out for crown fox Goliath to try to get pollinia for the next time that this flowers, and I did get a few. Hits. It turns out that Ben Oliveras has crown fox Goliath in his collection. He's in Hawaii, and I should also say that just for fun, I sent him some pollinia off of this plant. And it's just because he bred the plant, and I felt that he deserved pollinia for that. He then offered to trade a division of this for a division of crown fox Goliath. And I'm not ready to cut up this plant quite yet, so I'm not quite ready to divide it and share it. And I've heard from other people who also want a division of the plant, and I heard from a grower, a really established good grower in Chicago, who wants to also share a division of, he also had crown fox to Goliath, and he wanted to exchange a division of this for a division of crown fox Goliath. And I may follow him up on that. But in the meantime, I also found another breeder I think in West Virginia or Virginia, one of the Virginias, I'm not sure. And he had his crown fox Goliath was flowering. So he's sending me, and it's in the mail right now, and he's a breeder, so he's sending me pollinia from his crown fox Goliath so that the next time that this flowers, I can cross it. So yay, I'm well on the way to doing that. But in the meantime, I've got a lot of people that are asking me for divisions for this. So this is number one. This is kind of a, it's almost like a race horse or a bull that's got really high awards where I think the pollinia from this plant is very valuable because it's good genetics. So when this flowered, I did harvest all the pollinia. Those are in the fridge. Those are stable. And then I crossed it onto this. I'll get back to this plant in a second. I crossed it onto this, which is my other, I have two Cattleya lueddemannianas. And this is another Cattleya lueddemanniana that I got from Palmer Orchids that's a cerulean. And this is a nice flower. And anyway, I just crossed this plant onto this, and it's got a nice capsule forming right here. And we'll see how that goes. What it shows is that right here, I've got 3 seed capsules forming with a pollinia from my awarded plant. So it appears that it's a good pollinia donor. In the middle here is another plant that I've used previously in a cross with Cattleya lueddemanniana. Not mine, but it was a lueddemanniana that somebody else had in their collection. So I crossed onto this plant and generated seed, and I actually have progeny from a lueddemanniana cross with this. So I essentially remade that cross that's now an improved version because it has the awarded lueddemanniana as a parent. So, and this is, as you can see here, this is forming a nice capsule too. And I looked in all of the hybrids that I made, and because I haven't really used lueddemannianas and crosses, and this was an early cross that I made, I don't have any other of my, I think I'm up to 25, 26 registered crosses. I don't have any other ones that have lueddemanniana as a parent. So I remade the cross just to see what it would look like. This was from the pollinia that I harvested and stored in the fridge. Same thing with this one that bloomed later. So the pollinia storing, it's doing well. It's got really good viability, and I'm getting good seed set out of that. Okay, so back to this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm not sure what else I'm going to cross it with. When you harvest pollinia and store it, you can do this for a year. And maybe a little bit more. So we'll see how it goes. But this is such a good parent. So I may try crossing it with other things just to see what kind of vigor this imparts and what kind of flowers I get out of some crosses that I normally wouldn't have made. But I'm going to be a little careful because it's not an unlimited supply of pollinia that I have from this parent plant. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to share with you on these plants is, and this is my awarded plant, and right now I have two pretty large seed capsules formed on this plant, but the cross was only made 2 months ago, and these capsules are going to get huge, and I'm not sure how valuable these capsules are gonna the progeny that's in these capsules are gonna be, but I got two of them, and what happens when you get these big capsules forming is it may suck, even though it's a pretty nice sizable plant over here, it's not huge, and so it's sucking energy out of the plant. And I made the crosses because I didn't know what I was going to get, but it's been 2 months and the crosses are good. And I think this plant is more valuable, or will be more valuable to me if it grows. And if it grows a little bit more, I can divide it, and then I can share divisions of this awarded plant with the growers that really want this highly awarded lueddemanniana. So what I have to do in order to get growth out of that, because it's got two big seed capsules on it, I think I got to take this off. So that's what I need to do. So I have my instrument. I've got my torch right here. So I'm going to heat this up. I don't want this plant right here to have any concern about any kind of, virus or any other pathogen invasion. So it's going to hurt me to do this, but this seed capsule is going to go in. It's only been 2 months. I'm going to go in the lab in a couple days. I'll take it in and see if there's anything in there just for fun, because it doesn't cost me anything to do this. But it's only been 2 months, so these seed capsules I think are obviously too small. But here we go. Oh, this is going to hurt. I had to do it. All right, so I picked this one. They're both about the same size. They were crossed on the same day. I mean, that's a big capsule for just 2 months. But now what I'm hoping, and again, I picked it because this one, the second seed capsule is from a pseudobulb that's at the end of the pot. This one is a little bit further inside, so I'm hoping that now that I cut this off, I'll get some new growth out of this pseudobulb. And this one where I have this positioned on my fence behind me, this one is the one that I left on is a little more protected. So as painful as it was, I just feel that I had to do that. And again, so what I want to do is, the main thing I want to do now is grow this plant. I'll have the progeny from the self of this Cattleya lueddemanniana propagator, and I've got a cross with this Cattleya lueddemanniana right here, and then I've got a cross with this other Cattleya orchid right here. And this is a long way to go for the seed, and I'll keep on doing crosses. I'm really excited because the pollinia are on the way, but I've got to get new pseudobulbs forming, and I want to get this thing to flowers first so that I can make an appropriate cross. All right, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share with you these non-flowering plants. I've got I don't know if you can see them. I've got flowering plants behind me. I've got coming up, I'm looking here, I've got some oncidiums that are spiking, that are just loaded. So I think my next video is going to be on some of my oncidiums. I've got a a Brassidium over there that I'm surprised is spiking again. Sherry Baby is blooming. I've got I've got 2 Spacelotums that are blooming. I've got another no ID Oncidium blooming. So my next video is going to be on that. I still have one of my seedlings, one of my Dendrobium seedlings that's just about to open. That's not quite there yet. That's coming up. Oh, and the other thing that I should say that I'm pretty excited about is right behind me here. I have, this is amazing. So this is one of my, and I got a lot of these. So this is Encyclia tampensis, and this is a plant that I grew from seed, and this is just loaded, and I've got a lot of them because I grew them from seed, and when I was going to put them out in the park, Hurricane Ian hit, and I rescued all the plants that I had waiting to go out in the park. And in the meantime, this was about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago, and in the meantime, what happened is these plants have all gotten huge, and I think they're probably on this plant that I grew from seed here. There's probably about 15 spikes that are coming out, so probably another month. This thing is going to be loaded, and this is one of many plants that I have. So I'm going to be doing Encyclias are coming, but it's Encyclia tampensis that I have mostly. My Encyclia cordigera is still looking good, and I don't have that many other Encyclias, but I'm crossing tampensis with a lot of other plants. I'm crossing other plants on the tampensis, and it's fun. I've got seed capsules forming behind me on one of my Encyclia tampensis as well. So lots of stuff going on with Encyclias. So that's all coming up. All right, so that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.